He's like ultimate master. It's like, well, he didn't make the team though. He says a lot for Ohio's team. It's like 4 games.
Wait, is this the set?
Yeah, this is the
I thought you said Ohio was player 1.
they are.
Ricky, player 1 versus Mesatsu.
Okay, do I have the names wrong then? Yes.
Separately it should be Ohio.
Okay, that's my bad. That's my bad. I'll fix it.
I like that they're both matching color-wise, though. That's... If you want to win in life and not just in the video game, color match your opponent.
Dude, I tell you what, every time I see Mai's color 10, regardless of what outfit is, I just think Barbie. The pink, the blonde.
It's literally the Barbie colorway. It's like, the Barbie colorway has 3 colors. Blonde, pink, and pink.
And he...
Yeah, 4 pink. Like, isn't that 2 colors? And it's like, not the way Barbie rocks it. It's not.
They're 2 different shades of pink.
Pink probably is 3 of those colors, but I digress. Bison, man. A character that, God, you want to talk about a character that we were talking about, like, the amount you get from Bison at each level. And it's like, this character is very, very good at a high level, but this character is nightmare incarnate at a medium level. So, these players, you can tell they've had to learn this the hard way. There ain't no Elena not knowing this. If you don't know Bison, he's taking everything from you. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's why I will say, like, Bison is probably the one character where maybe it's okay to say no to the mix-up. Grant, if you have a mine on you,
yeah,
hits you with OD, Psycho Crusher into the level 3, you're taking at least 75% health off of that.
If you want to know what character is going to just truly Honda levels of run the jewels on you. Like, when he hits you, it just hurts. And he can hit you from surprisingly far. That's pretty good, though. I like that animation. Man, they're getting better at these level 3 animations. I'll give them that.
They really are. It's such a cool animation. The gradients going from black and white.
Yep.
I like how
super
old
cool.
movie.
Yeah, I like it a lot. But just between seeing that one and the Elena one today, it's like, these are like a half generation apart from the early level 3s. Like, they just look so much more refined. Just have pushing them in the corner here. It's like, hey, you guys like that level 3? I might show you another one here this match. There's more where that came from. Yeah, major hits. He hits that mine. The 2BA was just so scary. You don't want to deal with it. It finds a way to wait it out entirely. Jumping out of the corner, back to neutral. Scissor Kick doesn't care about your fucking low normals. Scissor Kick doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't want to go home.
Mesatsu's dropping combos here. But yeah, as we were talking about earlier, having mine on you is such a scary thing. Even if you block all Bison's mix-ups, within that sequence, I'm pretty sure Mesatsu took out like 2.5 or even 3 bars of drive from ASAP Ricky.
Pushing in here. Alright, I just noticed something, and I'm just gonna be... Level 1, also really cool level 1, though. One of the few characters that you're excited to see a level 1. Because it does lead to some interesting situations having those buff stocks. Fire stocks. And just parrying his way. Why not? What do? You want Bison to hit something that's a little greedy, and he's just not doing it. Out of the corner.
Oh my gosh, the delay tag from Mesatsu. Oh, that's a counter hit. You're dead here. That's another terrifying thing about Bison is you do not want to get hit with a counter hit on scissor kicks in neutral because you're probably going to die from level 3 to form, or even just like a mind setup.
This character actually, and especially in this game, reminds me a lot of Slayer from Guilty Gear. The fact that it's like, this is a counter hit carry. This guy, they're looking to take they're looking to get 3 trade interactions on you. One of them is counter hit, and this character does too much damage on counter hit. The next is a mix-up that's just a little too hard for you to block. And the third is him cashing out everything he has. And if he does those 3 things in a row, you've just lost. And that's like the Slayer gameplay. See right here, though.
I do not miss playing against Slayer and Strive.
Oh, God. Yeah, you want to talk about a character that always makes me feel small. That character just brutal if you don't know the knowledge checks. Wow, doesn't get knocked into the corner, just barely. Pixels away from it. Now, yeah. Dude, you could have had a half health and he would have gotten you from that. Bison's clocking you when he hits you. Great Spaghetti Town character. God, that move right there. It's like you said, if that move hits you on counter hit, you're just screwed.
You just have to accept the fact that you're taking a mine, and worst case scenario, you're being put in the corner with a mine on you.
Yeah, there are certain fights, Kimberly being a good example, which we've talked about so many times, where it's like, you don't have to accept that you're gambling in that fight. You have to accept that you're gambling on defense in that fight. But against Bison, you just have to accept that you are always in a gambling state. They're not safe, but he can always risk it just to, you know, see if he can catch you guessing. Speaking of which,
First time we've seen ASAP try to get that combo ender off of DP, but just whiffing altogether. Thankfully, since it's not OD, it's well, it's not safe, but it's harder to punish since you have less in lag.
Yeah, since I've been in the lab with Mai for the past weekend, I can tell you it's a very finicky spacing there. They have to be touching the corner. If they're not touching the corner, I mean like actually touching the corner. They can't be just barely touching the corner, otherwise the DP will miss. So.
But I'll tell you what, ASAP Ricky is not missing with this confirmed into the level 3.
There's not a ref for the next game until that game ends. So we got to figure out another referee. We got Domus that'll referee, but he's not like a full-time referee. He does it when he can. But like, yeah, that's one of the biggest changes. Like we need a 3rd referee or a 4th referee. So when me and Tito referee each other's games, we don't hold up the neck.
Yeah. 2BA, I thought you would find it interesting too. Another rule change that Zyson has been thinking about is like instead of the winner being the person to win 2 games first, it just being the winner, whoever I say it is, and it doesn't matter how many games you win or lose.
Yeah.
We've been kind of experimenting with that. We've got it in a couple control groups out in Nevada right now. We're feeling pretty good about it. But so keep your ears posted, everyone. Big changes next season. The Midsouth Fight Club. Tyson, describe your goals for Midsouth Fight Club in 1 word.
Sponsors.
There we go. Sponsors. Yeah, I'll talk to you with some stuff about sponsors. That's actually something with Honky Tonk and I'm working on right now too, so I'll put some shout out about that. We got a High Master versus a Grandmaster, so we know who does more drugs. But, you know, it's not that simple. Fighting games are pretty nuanced. It's not just always who can smoke the largest stuff. So we're going to see here who can take it. Burboovas, living the Guile life. But Aki just one option that's annoying to everybody that has a projectile.
Guys, I want everybody to know I just accomplished a big Street Fighter goal of mine. I got no other prodigy to get pissed off and quote tweet me. So I did it today. Check out.
Oh man, did you actually get that bait? Jesus.
Yeah. Check out his Twitter. He has quote tweeted.
Yeah. Fraser, how many tweets have you sent to Noah's Way?
That's the first. That's actually the first one. That's actually the first one. I'm 1 for 1. I've talked about it a lot, but I finally did it, and I'm 1 for 1, 100%.
I thought you were. I didn't realize this was your first.
Look it up, baby. Look it up. This is the first.
that up later, as we gotta worry about strawhatkid here, dealing a lot of damage to Burboovas here, or Burboovas here with the level 2. But we're OD flashing out of this. We're saying no to this mix-up. We gotta figure out a way to get out of the corner here. But against Aki, who can just like loop you for days while you're in burnout, eventually leading him to the drive impact. strawhatkid getting a clean and good start, taking a stock off of Burboovas here.
Yeah, right where you want to be, and that's the type of stock you take to start the Rube Goldberg machine that you get. You know, what it said was, alright, I see you now. That means potential is infinite. You can see what we're having right here. This is a very doable match for both characters. But Guile says you're going to have to do it from over there.
That's an interesting thing about this match, which is, we talked about earlier. Aki has a lot of ways to avoid projectiles, but sonic booms are relatively safe projectiles, so if Burboovas like position right, they can just block I don't remember what the move's called, but like a lunge tag Aki has that's projectile.
Yeah. So you remember earlier how we were talking and I said something along the lines of like, a command grab is good the second we all forget that character has a command grab. I feel the same way with Aki's approach options. They're fast enough. You know, they're not like safe, obviously, that would be terrible. And Guile doesn't have to perfectly react, but he can get caught. There are cracks in the armor, and Aki players certainly are looking where those are. Like right here even, just so many more things than other characters. There's not many characters that get to hit buttons from this range against Guile at all.
Inside butt, find the way in. Okay, yeah, to spend any meter here. We can honestly kill Burboovas here with a good confirm off of a drive rush, but it's just a matter of actually finding that move as strawhatkid burns themselves out, giving Burboovas the perfect time to wake up flash kick. So strawhatkid, excuse me, gonna have a tougher time trying to take Burboovas out. But this is a bit of a risky play here. We're activating the critical arts while we still are not down a round, but strawhatkid can make a comeback if they so choose. Oh my goodness!
Here's the thing though, yeah, while you're thinking of all these ways to get in or get out, safe jump, Guile, he's just chipping you away. He's fucking you up. We're like, yeah, Aki has this one response to these ranges. Guile gets his favorite button in all those ranges. It starts with Sonic and ends with boom.
Guile really can just excel both for the long range and the mid range. You think for being a zoner that his defenses are kind of rough close up, but no, Guile can box you out. He's also got one of the best DPs in the game.
Yeah. He's got that Leo White Fang logic where you're like, so we gave this character an invincible DP? And the designers are like, yeah, I guess we did.
Not only invincible DP, but one that has so much range. And as a charge motion, make it even easier to anti-air with, like right there.
You ain't missing that. You ain't missing that. It's like, you know, and charged characters only want one thing. They're literally just looking for it. It is amazing how much faster you can respond to these things. Well, that was a little greedy, and he's gonna pay for it, but what a great... Do you really care about the speeding ticket if you just won the lottery? That was... Yeah, just saying no again.
But I tell you what, though, we're getting into not our final match with the 3v3, but the last two players that have yet to play here. Servo, Blanka the JP, versus
Man Fire. Man Love Fire is like, oh man, I love fire. Okay, you need to. Man Love Fire is a great name for a kid player. That is hilarious.
It's very funny, but all right, it's Archway. Gotcha, Archway.
It's Archway. Yeah, it has to be. Man Love Fire, a man not
Archway. Yep.
And you tell him to get the I out of that name. Man I Love Fire, that's big. Man Love Fire, damn, you're a him player. You earned that shit. Servo is saying, my name's good. I don't need to change any letters in it. I'm going to show you why. Getting it set up. This can, giving him time. Which you can do. You don't have to rush in this matchup. You've got to go in eventually, but, you know, take your time. Gets the clip on that kick. That's about it. Now back to trying to scrape his way in again, and he's found it. Now pushing back out. All the way.
That's the thing about JP. He really can't just like push you to the other side of the screen for the situation he wants you in. Oh my gosh, how did we whiff that grab as a gets the jumping heavy kick? We should confirm it to level 3 here. And that's all she wrote as now Servo eliminating 1 stock off of Archway.
Right at the end there, ready to get their time started. Delay. And JP looking for the grab. Both failed. And then we just went back to the game. Which happens in Street Fighter 6, you know. Sometimes you whiff the grab, it happens.
Sometimes you whiff the grab, and other times you get a punish counter off of a grab. Servo, a good start on game 2 here.
Yeah, sometimes you whiff the grab, and sometimes you have a fireball that can command grab for full screen. It's just different lifestyles, you know. Some people drive cars, some people have to walk to work. I get it. Downing it in, but just tricking Servo into hitting buttons when he doesn't have the chance. Oh, and throws him into the corner. Down to the basement you go. I hope you learned your lesson. Servo, again, a very strong round. Yo, I don't know why that fireball was smart, but that fireball was
Servo is the rated #1 player in the threes league.
Oh, really?
Even rated higher than Mesatsu?
Yep, the #1 person in the league right now with a KDA at 5.6. They have 8 wins, 1 loss, 17-3 kills, 17 kills, 3 deaths.
Servo showing why too, just looking really, really comfortable in this matchup. I'm sure it's one that they are very familiar with, but regardless, just swift execution.
18-3 and not anymore.
Ah! Yeah. That was my Zyton impression. Yeah. Innovative, formatted, data written down, fine wine, street fighting machine. People and a lot of work. And Bison knows sometimes that just means you get to do 3 roles when it should be a bad idea for you to have more than 1.
Speaking of having to do a lot of work, Burboovas is one now at a single stock. If they want to win this for Campaine and the Backpackers, they have to take out Servo twice and ASAP Ricky once without losing a game.
Now I will say that though everybody's doing high and dandy, this is where you want to start it. You need to be able to win this match if you want to get over to beat Servo twice. Let's see what he's got. Oof. Not looking good, 2BA. What do you think?
Yeah, before we can get the server, we have to get through ASAP Ricky's Mai, who looks like to be giving Burboovas a bit of trouble, especially if they get a little too complacent throwing out non-OD Sonic Booms. The OD fan can kind of just go through, not only go through it, but also give ASAP Ricky an opportunity to close that gap in, and maybe even throw in a mix-up. Oh my! A flash kick just misses altogether with the fan setup.
That looked painful, dude. The concept they applied it into there, but it's like, dude, I start at the front of the track, and I end when I cross the finish line.
We're into the thick of the 5s. Ego versus Campaine.
Yeah, speaking of racing, we're going to race on over to the 5v5s here. SimplyEgo versus Campaine. Wow, weird. Campaine, the Backpackers, already thrown out their biggest hitter.
And this is a strategy that their team does. Okay, so the way they view the format, I've talked to Campaine about this, is that they feel that the anchor slot, the 5th slot, is actually a weak position. To aim your anchor at killing as many people as possible. So what Campaine will do is he'll put himself in the lineup as a point for an easy kill, he thinks.
That does kind of make some sense, though, really. If you're looking at, instead of optimizing matchup spread, you're looking at optimizing the amount of games you can get from that.
Heads up. Programming alert for Midsouth Fight Club.
Programming alert.
After discussions with referee Tito G, the 9 p.m. will start as scheduled. Indiana versus Scruffy City on Scruffy City FGC. So we would put the whole thing like 30 minutes, probably 40 minutes behind if at this point. So they're going to go ahead and get them rolling over there.
Okay. Well, what are you all going to do? Do you want to switch over after this, or do you all want to switch over here?
No, I mean finish this one out. We'll probably watch party the Scruffy City one, and then after that we'll do the nightcap at 10 o'clock. So we're here until 11, baby. We're here until 11. Holy Tony Baker, Batman.
SimplyEgo Campaine. Ego going down one, and Bison hopping in to give us the rundown, explaining that this is a tactic that their team does. So normally you kind of put your anchor at the back. The further back the match is, since you're choosing who to put up after every round, but you can't put up the same person, you therefore have a better chance of guessing the matchup the later in the 5 you choose to have it. So a lot of people try to optimize their strongest players with their best matchups. However, what Campaine is saying, and what I think about, is the theory of win more. A logic used to debunk a lot of things that on paper seem like they'd be really good in card games. If they are your best players, you should not have to worry, perhaps, about giving them the best matchup, but instead giving them the most opportunities to win matchups.
And as a result, Campaine is the #1 player in the 5s league. Squall is the second, by the way. But Campaign's #1 at 19 kills and 2 deaths. By the way, Kentucky gave one of those deaths. But
let's go.
Yeah, he one of those 2 deaths was by Garlic. Garlic took one kill off of him.
Garlic will sneak you.
Yeah, and
you've been reading the Garlic book. He'll get you.
But he's KD at 9.5. Ego, on the other hand, is 12 and 11 at 1.8 KD, 5 and 4. But Campaign is 9 and 0 on the season.
Dyson, I think you need to up as Campaign hit that level 3 and taking out SimplyEgo in the 5v5s here with that 2-0. Oh my goodness. Nobody liked her inclusion in the game.
Goodness. Oh, it's one of my favorite players, QBA.
It is
So for GalaxyBrAn, and so BuddyLikeFriend dances on the stage when you saw that at Combo Breaker. But but anyway, give a breakdown on these 2 players. GalaxyBrAn at 5 and 9 kills and 2-5 win-loss record, and we have BuddyLikeFriend. Actually, not in my records. Why is he not in these records? All the video. No, he's in my records.
So BuddyLikeFriend dances?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm so glad you mentioned that he dances. And make sure to include that in the hype video. So, like, just him dancing on stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's sick. I'm a Friend fan then, too. Because I definitely like somebody that dances on stage. You know what that means, CBA? This is a best friend showdown. The winner of this gets to be my friend. A lot on the line. Buddy, you saying I'm gonna dance my way into your heart. Galaxy likes to... Galaxy, the type of play... There are 2 types of Blanka players. Some that run you round 1, and some that perfect you round 3. We're about to see which type GalaxyBrAn is right here.
I tell you what, Scott, there are two. In my mind, there are two Blanka players. There are crazy Blanka players and even crazier Blanka players.
Yeah, that's so much more true than what I said. I concede to that logic for sure.
Interrupt one more time. I found Buddy's record. He is 0-3 on the season. 4 kills death.
Noted.
Tried to sneak in that DI, but no avail. Buddy's got to be a little careful. We're in the yellow here. If Buddy could have confirmed that standing heavy kick, that would have been legendary. But I think it was only counter itself. Would have been kind of hard at that max range.
Just trying to get. I feel like if you're a Bison player, at least once every month you have to go for round start EX Psycho Crusher. And he got it out of the system. It's out of the system. Is it a good idea? Should you do it? I mean, there are other things you could be doing. Why not scissor kick instead? You just got to get it out of the system.
We just need that one scissor kick round start. Or even OD Psycho Crusher. Oh my gosh, but I'll tell you what, GalaxyBrAn has really been just blowing Buddy's defense up with all of these air balls going through stuff like the eye and all kinds of other buttons, and it's enough for GalaxyBrAn to take the first game.
Honestly, and he did that really well. The non-mix-up mix-up, he just didn't mix until the final guess. Like like, nah, maybe I will just stay on this side. And then once you're in the corner and you're like, all right, this guy's not mixing up at all. He said, I would like my check, please, and also I would like you to pay for my dinner.
I have to see.
What did I see Blanka in recently? I saw a Street Fighter skin in something. You could play as. Oh, it was Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
You can play as Akuma, and as your little pet guy, you can have Blanka. And it's like, that's cute for Street Fighter, or like for, you know, your fucking Monster Hunter game. I want that to be canon. I want Akuma to be into Blanka. Like, that would be good.
That blockchain gives me PTSD. I do not want to look at that thing ever. Catch up.
Certainly right now, down a game, and God, Blanka-chan, another one of those things that it's like, you're not going to see the Blanka-chan when it's close. You get to feel it when it's down and out, because, God, that combo's long if he can get the payoff for it.
Oh, Buddy's in a little bit of trouble here. We have jump back. We need to get that drive gauge back somehow so we don't get chipped out. Sneaks in yet another DI. I don't think level 2 is going to be enough to kill here, so we're going to play it safe. Set up the mine. Look for that Oki instead.
Calls it out, I know when you were sleeping. My name is BuddyLikeFriend.
He retains BuddyLikeFriend.
I take it back. So I thought that BuddyLikeFriend was doing bad like decisions on startup, but I take it back. I think he's just a crazy person. I think Buddy is a Bison player raised in the wilderness by a pack of Blanka. He's the Tarzan of Bison players, which is really just what all Bison players are, but you get what I'm saying.
I guess might also help to add context. Before Bison came out, Buddy actually played Marissa before his arrival, which I could see your theory of like him season.
You say that, and I do get Marissa vibes now that you mention it. Hey, Buddy on the board. Buddy on the board, one apiece. Both playing really well. Both players playing surprisingly slow for these two characters. Bison characters looking to you before you realize that the match has started. Blanka players looking to mix you up the second your bottom hits the floor. Both players. Sorry, go on.
No, you're good, but I was gonna say, yeah, as just you said, playing this matchup a little bit more slow. Yeah, I think Buddy playing much less aggressively compared to game 1 here. Being a little patient, seeing what GalaxyBrAn does, because there have been so many instances in game 1 where GalaxyBrAn has just been blowing up Buddy's aggressiveness with airball and whatnot.
The corner. There it is, Doobie! That Blanka-chan you were so scared of beforehand. His comeback to not only invade your nightmares, but Buddy's as well. Buddy down around is gonna need to pull something out. Not a lot of super meter to work with, but might be able to build level 3 before the end.
Yeah, I can see a future where we build up level 3 for GalaxyBrAn, trying to activate this level 2 here. We're like one touch away for Galaxy to take the game here. And with Burnout, we did not unfortunately bait out the level 1 as BuddyLikeFriend says no to the mix-up, getting out of the corner here. Oh my gosh, Buddy playing so well. Oh, but the GI at the end of the day is gonna take.
And that was that thing that you're kind of forced to do when you're in Burnout. And that is just like, try to extend your turn.
Okay, so TonyBaker drifted from Ohio's 3s into their 5s. Musa is the co-captain, kind of like the co-anchor of like gods. He's at a 10-6 and 6-2 record, so 6 wins, 2 losses, 10 kills, 6 deaths, KDA of 1.8. Not as thing, but definitely up there in terms of like the players in the league. Whereas TonyBaker, he's 13-5 at a 2.6 record. He's 7-0 on the league currently. But keep in mind, he played the majority of the season on the Ohio's 3s team, which has been a very dominant squad. So we'll see how he does tonight.
So he's kind of, we're going to see, he's been 2 players both dominating, but we're going to see here if TonyBaker can cook as much in the 5v5 as the 3v3. It can get pretty cutthroat in the 5v5 too, so we'll see. Musa, been firing all year. 2BA, you got any thoughts on these characters or this mirror match? What do you got for me?
Tell you what though, Dee Jay has some really strong positives and some really bad negatives in this game. I feel like he's a bit of a slept-on character ever since his nerfs going into season 2, but I think he's like he's better now in this game than he was at the start of season 2. He does like so much corner carry off of his DPs. Sway is such a terrifying button to deal with in neutral if he catches you with a punish counter, and especially now that you can get full combo off of the overhead version of it. We're probably going to be seeing a lot of sways in this matchup. I mean, look at TheHolyTonyBaker, 2 sways in a row, but it wasn't enough as Musa is now going to activate that level 3. So, and overall, I think this is going to be like a bit of a movement-heavy matchup here.
Yeah, I would say so. You have characters that don't have a large amount of special cancelable normals. Playing in a mirror, both of them kind of always looking to bait a little bit more anyway. And it's just like, yeah, we're going to be scrapping. In the corner, we're going to be scrapping. In the middle of the screen, we're going to be seeing who can carry to the corner to get scrapping.
TheHolyTonyBaker has proven themselves to be like such a terrifying character to like play scrappy against by the amount of whiff punishes he's getting. Even if he just sees like a single move whip, he is drive rushing in to get a combo off on you.
And pushing to that right there, Musa saying, "Listen, you might want to rush to the combo, but I'm gonna." But it being close, going to final round. You know, there's a notorious nature for mirror matches to be toxic, and I can't tell if this is toxic or quite the opposite. But it certainly plays a lot different than a lot of other mirror matches. That's for sure.
I do not like playing mirror matches, but that's simply because that just could be the fact that I just don't like playing against another grappler that does the exact thing I does. So I feel like it might differentiate between character by character, but from what I've heard from like other pro players, it's generally agreed upon that like mirror matches are kind of tough to play against.
Well, I think what it is generally they're just different. right? They're different, and the dirtiest thing that can happen. I will describe to you now the ugliest feeling in the world. So you're fighting a mirror match, and your opponent does something, and you do something really smart, right? And you're feeling hella cute, and then that same situation happens again, but in the reverse. And you do something, and they do the smart thing that you did to them, to you, and you know they learned it. And so you're like, did I help you beat by playing well? And that's a weird feeling to have. Did I help you beat me by playing well?
This guy, you described that last minute perfectly. I feel like we've seen Holy Tony a lot of OD air slashers to kind of win the fireball neutral game here and leading them into combos. I feel like we've been seeing Musa do that quite a bit into game one. Now HolyTonyBaker is flying that game two. Oh, we're not getting hit with that. We're reacting to SDI counters.
And see, that's the thing you've got to do in the mirror that's just so much different than in anything else, is the counter to that is to beat the option that you would do. And it's like, man, maybe you're good at fighting Evil Link in the Ocarina of Time, Dark Link. But it's just way fucking different than fucking around with Ganon. Pushing into the corner. Man, we're seeing that adaptation right now. We've gone to Drive Impact. Drive Impact is when reason succeeds to meta. Is how I always think of it in this game. It's only a good idea once it's made it into that command grab territory. Doesn't need it though. Doesn't need anything tricky.
So you drop a game, and then suddenly your strongest link's down one to like someone that is supposed to take it. It gets a little harder.
Wait,
In this match, in this format, you would do anything. Literally. It is worth doing anything if you can get a game off of best player. Like that.
Yep.
Because we've just seen how dangerous a single stock from those players are in this format. Wow. That's really cool. Yeah, so here we see it. So Mesatsu rocking with the Terry again. Who is this? Oh, Mesatsu. I see it there.
Yeah,
And Mesatsu's just looking to get anything off of it, because Squall, one of the most deadly players in the entire league, and you can see why. This person is just optimized neutral. Like, they are good. If you want to play the game on this, you're probably going to lose to Squall. And Squall getting a little bit more of the naughties in it, switching to Mai, also a Chun-Li player. Looking really good on the Maya. Really like what I've seen so far. Excited for what I will see. 2BA, did Terry get buffed for this patch? I think I heard that.
yes, Terry did get buffed. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. I don't exactly remember what he got. I think he got one new link off of one of his buttons, and at least to like new combo routes. So I know Terry got something significant, but I just can't remember exactly what it was.
Gotcha. All right, so this jacket Terry's wearing, I wouldn't normally be into. Like, the outfit itself doesn't, like, stylistically do it for me. But the fucking gravity, the physics on his jacket, how it's, like, open at the bottom like that is so good. Like, I really love watching that jacket. Whoa. Like, they put what most companies would put into boob physics into the bottom half of Terry's dumb jacket. I'm impressed. Hey, sometimes you gotta let it rip.
Sometimes you say no to the mix-up, but there are times when there is no mix-up to say no to. And with that, Squall is taking a game or stock off of Mesatsu here, which is a terrible situation for Campaine and the Backpacker. As Ison said before, taking one stock off of Squall is a win for Campaign backpackers.
Heavy cut on this Terry outfit as well that I just came to the conclusion for. So you see how he's wearing a basketball jersey? Or a football jersey? I can't tell which one it is.
Oh, it's basketball.
It is basketball. It should be from the fucking King of Fighters basketball player.
Oh,
From
Lucky Glauper.
Lucky Glauper, that's his name. Yeah, that needs to be a Lucky Glauper jersey. And then also see to this costume.
I want to see Lucky Glauber come back in a King of Fighters game. I know we're never going to see him again.
Dude, I love Team Sports Ball. I thought they were actually really unique designs for such an early game.
Never once would I think it would have been an amazing idea to have a basketball player throw basketballs as a projectile and shout baseball when he throws said basketball.
Yeah! Some things are just better than we can comprehend, to be honest. This is kind of cool. We got a little bit of Fatal Fury going on here in Street Fighter. My versus Terry. Both in costume 3s as well, which is nice.
Yeah,
pretty cool. Jimmy, this is what the future looks like. How do you feel about the future?
Honestly, I'm liking the future for Street Fighter now. I mean, Season 3, I know a lot of people were kind of saying, like, oh, I wish they changed more. And to be honest, after we've been through both, like, the Tekken 8 Season 2 patch and, like, a few of the Guilty Gear patches where, like, almost everything changed.
Your job is to make the video game. You can't SPD like this motherfucker.
Dude, that reminds me of the quote, legendary Reggie Fils-Aimé said, I think he was playing against Hungrybox in Smash 4, and I think Hungrybox said something smart, and then Reggie just responded with, I run a company 16 hours a day. You sit on your ass and play video games 16 hours a day. After he just lost in Smash.
Yeah, it's like, of course you beat me. And it really is that competitive. That's why it's so cool to watch these matchups in Mid-South, is it's like, there are people all over the U.S. that are sacrificing immense amounts of their life to push the upper echelon of this game as high as it possibly can be. And we love to see it. We love to see it, and we love to see those communities clash. Now, we've seen a lot of these clashes, but I feel like Zangief has been a special hero of Mid-South Fight Club. Would you agree with that, 2BA?
Oh, you don't even say anymore. We've seen tears. We've seen the tears that certain Zangiefs have done in this league, and even if with one of Zangief's worst matchups being Edge, Chrisymandias has still found a way to take a leading round off of Saguu, the MidWestBoxer here.
This is one of his hardest matchups.
Yes, this is a rough matchup for Zangief because you're dealing with a zoner here, and also Ed has a lot of anti-air tools, especially like his standing heavy kick is basically anti-air the button and prevents Zangief from jumping in at all. Like that, right there.
That right there. That would just hit from any angle. Wow. And the fast follow-up, crazy.
But that doesn't mean Chrisymandias can't find a way to get in. That's why we're saying no to the mix of Scott. We do not want this big man on us.
Going in for it. Believes, but hit out of it. What do you do though when you're Zangief? You just gotta push forward no matter what. You know what that means. I can't believe it. Oh my god. This is the window finals. Around Chrisymandias needs to get in and find a way to take this way into the heavy leagues.
They'll take on this featherweight. Oh man. Gee, this is like one of those things in like video games that just does not make sense. Do you think like the big burly man would easily crush this like lightweight boxer kid that's like probably 15 years old?
I would assume that Ed weighs left than Zangief's right.
To be completely fair, Zangief has no superpowers. He is just a man.
That is true.
This kid has psycho power. Not psycho power, it's something different. But yeah, it's yeah, one's enhanced, the other's not.
No, that is true. Street Fighter bends that line a lot where it's like, well, guys are normal, and they're like, really normal? And they're like, shoot fireballs normal. And it's like, okay, just shoot fireballs, and it's like demon energy has been put into them, and they've been reawakened, and it's like, that's not normal. We went into fantasy very quickly on the corners there.
Still trying to find jump-ins against Saguu, but it's going to amount to nothing as Saguu is finding to confirm into the level 3 to take the first game, taking a stock off of Chrisymandias.
So this character, I feel like we've heard people like doomspire about how he's dead so many times, but he seems to be playing very well. Is he still a formidable threat in this game?
Yeah, I think Ed's still pretty good in this game, despite the fact he's been nerfed probably like 3 times in a row over the last few patches. He's not as good as he was at the beginning of Season 2, thankfully, but he's still good in this game.
Keeping Chrisymandias out. Chrisymandias has to find a way in. He hasn't really been able to do it more than just that one magical round so far, but is this the beginning of a new era? One where we all have psycho powers looking like it. Any hit will do it though.
It's definitely the beginning of something. I think I'm pretty sure that's the first time we've seen an SPD in this game here, or the set, excuse me.
There's an erotic nature to grabbing a grappler. I can't quite describe it. You said you hate to get grabbed as a grappler, and it's like, I feel you, 2VA, but you gotta know, as a non-grappler, we want to grab. Like, it makes us feel like everything's okay if we can just grab you. So I see Saguu getting a little bit of a power-up from that. Oh, a nice setup. Very frame trap adjacent. Such a cool combo.
Well, it's not a dream combo, but hey, it's still really good as we're putting Chrisymandias into control. Oh my gosh, guys, it's a level 3.
Wow. Oh. I'm never surprised by how far away that damn thing reaches.
I tell you what, Razor on production has got the biggest grin on his face right now after watching that.
Yeah, I can see Razor's face in my mind. I don't even need to see it any other way. He is very delightful.
This is your last ride.
Saguu, though, still has a match up. Feeling fine. Chrisymandias fighting for his life. Oh no. Yeah.
Unfortunately, at the end of the day, this is a rough matchup for Zangief as the MidWestBoxer Saguu as eliminate Chrisymandias out of the 5v5 here.
Did what he could though. You send Squall back in. Dude, Squall is the scariest player I've seen. Like, every time Squall comes up, I'm just like horrified.
They're gonna make him run. They're gonna make him run the gauntlet.
Yeah,
they're gonna make him run the gauntlet.
Razor said shortcut. We all know what's at the top of the mountain. Let's play it here. They said no. They're gonna make him run it back. Starting with TheHolyTonyBaker. He's got one stock to do it with. So, let's see. Campaine. So far, tied in life, but it's just really felt like he's had the control. He's moving better. He's hitting his confirms, pulling into this with the poison on. Hey, never forget how good perfect parry is. Getting out of there back to neutral.
It's an even harder tool to use on Season 3 here after the nerf, where you now have to hold the direction on which to get the perfect parry on now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So you really have to be attempting with some passion there to get it.
Yeah, they were impressive before, but now they're even more impressive.
Yeah, they are much more of a skill guess to do. And that is a huge nerf. You have to know what move you're perfect parrying now. Wake Up Perfect Parry was so good.
That change was also a buff to Kim. It was a buff to rushdown characters because now it's harder to get them off of you.
Oh, it really is. That's really true.
And it's a buff to like rushdown characters and mix-up characters. I'm pretty sure they also had that in mind when putting Elena in the game.
Were there any defensive buffs? I heard about the universal crouching medium punch. That's a defensive buff, right? I mean, it's a whiff counter, a whiff punish.
See it being like a buff to defense overall makes it easier for whiff punishing.
Yeah. I don't know if there were any other major defensive buffs in the game though.
Tell you what though, TheHolyTonyBaker to be careful about how they want to do their defense. They're willing to burn themselves out single hits with a whiff punish.
And did not have to spend any meter. That's that awkward situation. We saw it with Chrisymandias earlier where it's like, you can win, but you have to spend everything you have to win. And so by making that the only way you can win, your opponent's not doing the worst. But here he got away with it. Both players love it. Campaine running it though. Right away. We saw a slow that last round was slow no more. Now we are neck and neck. Hard knock. They grabbed him right out of it.
Oh my god.
Maybe just one more time. You know, for the memories. 2BA is the. We are out of first gear. Street Fighter 6. Raid the Redemption, that's what would happen right here. GalaxyBrAn would take one, and then get. We'll see. Let's see.
Yeah, I like the approach of like it's such a great script writing tool to have like the strongest players play at the last possible instance. Also, think it's a good strategy Ohio's trying to apply here. Send in their other players before Squall to hopefully get at least one stock off of Campaine to make Squall or even Saguu some job of cleaning it up easier.
And guess who is running a scary gauntlet here? It's my favorite player, GalaxyBrAn. Took him with some mean medicine now, getting a little bit of what he was just serving up though. Oh boy, Campaine. Campaine loves just walking back and making you hang yourself. Campaine has done that a lot. GalaxyBrAn not falling for it, but not winning the round either. Campaign up. GalaxyBrAn one stock. 2BA, what do you think we need to see here from GalaxyBrAn? How's he gonna get in here?
I tell you what, this is definitely a good start for GalaxyBrAn. Getting that level 2, hopefully depleting all that drive gauge from Campaine. And look at this, we're now in burnouts. But wow, that is a super early DI from GalaxyBrAn. Which means that Campaign's gotta get all that drive gauge back. But hey, we got the Blanka set up at least. But doesn't matter, we're out of the corner. I forgot, Aki can't just like slither out like that.
Dude, and it's like we talked about, you just gotta hold the block long enough to where they forget that you can just say Jesus. And Campaine doing a wonderful job of that. Wow, I didn't know that confirmed from that. That was like max range or something.
When you get a, oh my gosh, like holy moly, that kills. Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. I did not know you could do that.
I was about to say, I mean, the thing is,
in Squall.
You let Campaine get hot though. You know what I mean? You let him
Your
feel.
logic 100%. You made the tacticians play. You made the tempo play, which was like, if you let this person run up some wins where they against these one-stock players, then you're gonna be playing Campaign Final Four. Where if you just put Squall against Campaign ASAP, you play Campaign level 1.
Jeez Louise, we're 30 seconds into the match and Campaign has already been put into burnout.
You see why this human is so scary at this game. Like right here, just instantly is a threat. It's not that he's a threat damage-wise or neutral-wise, really. Squall just make sure that you do not get to play the game.
when you're playing as a character as Mai, she really can just lock you out from playing this game with all these fan setups. Driver burst will get off.
Yeah. The amount of petty things that Squall did just to like beat like, you know, the late jab. Because it was like, no, I know you want out of this and I don't care if it ruins my damage or makes my Oki more sus. I'm just not gonna let you play the game. Now on defense, holding it.
Scots. We could spin the level 3, or we could get the Oki, which is what Campaign's going for here. Overhead gets blocked. Level 1, get off me once again, says Squall. We're saying no to all these mix-ups. Oh, but it hesitated at the last minute with the DI. Campaign is taking us to a place that I can't even believe exists.
Super scary. Both players, both stocks, final round. Squall getting to jump in over that and then keeping out with EX Fan. Boy, when you choose to spend it, it is a scary thing. Campaign trying to get in and start, but Fan just keeping the lockdown. Keeping the lockdown. Wow, blocking over it. High Pro says no, get back out of here. Now Poison, not the best of stuff. It's in. Alright. This is where Squall just, oh yeah. Yeah, see that's a bummer though, because you could tell that's what Squall was looking for. The punish was EX Snake, but it's just a little bit hard, it's a little bit faster than you expect. Oh man. So
that was such a tricky mix-up. We jumped in with a button and backdashed to avoid Campaign's grab. Holy moly, Squall is on a different level here. Oh, look at this too. Campaign, only a single stock now. If they want to win it for Atlanta, they have to not lose a single game now.
Yeah, this is a rough situation for Campaign, and Squall not holding back a bit, just keeping going with all this pressure. These fans just making a fool out of Campaign. KO. It might be 2, but it feels like too many. Look at the punishment. Whiff's grab, and it almost felt like even that was a challenge to press a button since Fan fell right after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything seems mocking from Squall. Like, just go ahead, try to fight me. Crouching after Hidden Dragon when Homeboy's got the bamboo stick. That's this shit.
Yeah, as you said earlier, Squall really likes shimmying on Campaign here, trying to bait a button from him, but to no avail. Drive reversal, get off me, good sir.
Pushing him, just wow. Even though everything is blocked, he's still just being like, I'm gonna trick you into going into this corner. Doing a pretty good job of it. His character gets up! Going into big money, not enough to kill? What happens? I don't understand. Roll die from the poison, but gotta run it back.
God, can you believe it?
I can't believe it. Oh my god. Go into final weapons. That was the penultimate of penultimate moments. Truly unbelievable. One apiece. A jab around the world. Campaign on a mission to keep this going.
I like this. Spin to level 2. Put Squall in burnout. We only need to chip him out now.
This will be over at the end of time. And we'll go shorter and the Backpackers. You defeated the Backpackers. You defeated half of the team. Campaign weighted shoulders venomous fangs, hard reads, knocking on the door of Squall, an unstoppable god. Who's bleeding 2BA? Where are we going, man?
I tell you what, though, I think Squall's bleeding a little bit. Look at that drive gauge. We're once at less than a single bar, but we somehow got that drive gauge back. Squall's looking pretty good. We're in the green, but Campaine almost also in burnout is really scary.
This is something that we knew, we've seen happen he calls him. He hits it. He says, you haven't done it yet, and I know what you need.
Man, Squall.
Looking to count this down. Campaign has meter, has the reads, has to get something started against a player that literally, one of his strengths is not letting you start. Here's the beginning. Into the grab. No, you do not get to jump there.
Goodness, of course, I thought Campaign might have gone for a level 3 there, but yeah, I believe it. Save that meter for final rounds. We can find the way to get the kill later on in this round. No need to spin right here.
That grab didn't seem big, but that jump, that cross-up was important to Campaign starting this. If that hit, it would have been very different. Low health. He's got to do something. Oh no. None of these things safe. Blocks the grab. Gets it.
That. Oh my god, Campaign is still alive.
What foiled him in missing earlier now? This readjustment is what wins him the game. 2BA, you know what that means. I cannot believe it. Oh my god, we're going to final round. Final round. Unbelievable. What's going on? I understand less every moment we watch this.
I tell you what, Professor Squall is opening Campaign up with the overhead. We're gonna get this install with the level 1 so we can get some fire stocks here. Oh, but Campaign wants none of that. Wants to immediately apply pressure, deplete that drive gauge on Squall so he doesn't have a chance to throw out these fans. But no, finds some openings here to back away. Oh, here's the scary part.
Very scary. Got him right where he knows him best. This time.
We can build it up in time, but the grab should be
taking it. Whoa. The unstoppable Titan